In this video, I would like to exemplify the debugging process. I've written a script specifically to illustrate debugging. Now granted, I'm the one that put the errors in here, so I know where they are. But I'm going to go through the process as though I am someone who does not know where the errors are, so I can better illustrate for you how you should approach the process of debugging. Now, the purpose of this little script is silly in and of itself. We're going to read in the statistics class data and count how many of the students who passed the test, that is, with a score of 70 or greater, had an even numbered score. I have no idea why we would want to know if you passed the test if your score was an even numbered score, but maybe there's a reason. Maybe, for instance, the instructor's going to take the students who pass the test and put them into two groups, and the two groups are going to be assigned to help other students. And so the instructor decides, I'm just going to group on whether their score was even or odd. So we might be able to come up with reasons why we would do this, but my main reason is to exemplify the debugging process. Let's go ahead and run this. And it doesn't run. I got a couple error messages here, and I can't really make a whole lot out of those. There seems to be an error when I sent something to the function, because this is actually from line 9 in the function. And remember, lazy evaluation. The reason I taught you about that is so you realize that this is not an error from the function itself not doing anything. It's an error when I sent something to the function. So the problem could be in what I sent to the function, or it could be in the function itself. And then here, even scores not found, that's probably because I got an error in the function. Look at line 18. Here is where I called the function even nums with student score. So even scores is assigned whatever we get out of even nums, but since we got an error in the even nums function, that's why we don't have an assignment here. So those two errors seem to me to be related. Okay, I'm going to get serious about the debugging process. I'm going to bring my buddy, Arturo. Here he is. Arturo is getting ready to help me debug this code. Here you can see that he's staring intently at the code, waiting for me to explain to him line by line what's happening. He's used to this. He does it a lot for me. And so he's ready to go, waiting for me to talk to him. So let's go. Okay, Arturo, as is our practice, I'm going to clear the console. I'm going to clear the environment so that we can start right from scratch. I'm going to load the here library, and you can see no errors. So the package has been installed. The package is loaded into the environment. Everything is ready. Here's the function that I wrote. I'm not calling it yet, but I am going to go ahead and load it into the environment. Let's go ahead, before I get into the main block of code, let's make sure that the function's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So this is supposed to return all even numbers from a vector. So let me go ahead and show you that it does that. I'm going to go ahead and create a vector. I'll call it A. And it's going to be numeric. That's what the function requires. And I'm going to put in a mix of even and odd numbers into the function. Okay, so here's my vector. Now I'm going to go ahead and call that function. Notice that it's going to return all the even numbers from that vector. So just to make it easier to debug in case there's a problem, I'm going to store that into B. So even nums is the function, and I'm going to send it A, this vector. What am I expecting? I am expecting, as you can see, I'm expecting 2, 12, 18, 24. Correct? All right, buddy, you're with me. Let's go on and see if we get those when we run this. Whoops, I've got a problem. Error in this piece, right here is what it's pointing to. And it said it could not find the function, and it has the double percent, but the double percent is a function. It's a modular function. If I type 5, 2, that gives me a 1. So that error is really not helping me very much. Let's see what I'm doing basically. So this first number that I gave it in my vector was a 2. So it's 2, and I'm checking to see that there's no remainder. So see, there's no remainder. And so here's where I'm checking to make sure that that equals 0 right here. So I'm basically saying 0 equals 0. There's a problem. Okay, Arturo, there's a oh, I see what it is. I see what it is. My intent here was to load in the number when this was true, and equal is not a logical operator. I need double equals to make it a logical operator. So let me try it again with double equals. And then let me go ahead and load that function. Let me try the exact same thing. I'm going to assign to B even nums, and I'm going to send it A. And that time I got what? I got logicals. I didn't actually get the numbers. That was supposed to return all the even numbers from a vector, but instead it gave me the logicals because it's telling me what's true and false. Okay, wait a minute now. So I'm really not taking the even numbers from X. I'm just creating a vector of trues and falses, but I know that what I can do is I can subset on trues and falses to pick out all the trues. So let me try this. Let me again load this. And let's try it again. And now let's see what B has. Here's A. Let's make sure it's right. 2 is the first one. 12, 18, and 24. Yes, thank you, Arturo. Okay, we've got the function running. Now let's see if everything works. So I'm on line 17 now. So this is just reading in. This should be no problem. And let's look at it. Actually, it's a data frame I see, so the easiest way to look at it is to click on it. There's the score that I want right here. That's the score. Okay, so now I'm going to send that function those scores just to show you that I'm sending the correct thing. I will type in what I have here. Okay, that's what I'm sending it. I'm sending these numbers. I noticed something. I have some NAs. Uh-oh. Let me go back and try again. Let me take my A that I had here. Here's the A vector. Let me add some NAs to that. I'm going to concatenate A with NA, and I'll put in a couple more numbers. 10, 31, another NA, and 14. Okay, so here's my new A. So I spotted NAs. It might work. I just am not sure. I want to see. So let me go ahead and now try the even nums again. And this time I'm going to try it with A again, but this time A has some NAs in it. And let's see what B gives me. Ah, it gives me back the NAs. All right, let's go back here and see, can I deal with that? How can I send back everything that's not NA? Well, one way I could do that is to just strip the NAs out of there. So I already have given them to Y. So what if I set a new Y now in which I return everything that's not is.NA? How about that? So this, if I'm reading this correctly, and we'll find out in a moment here, Arturo, but if I'm reading this correctly, in fact, let me try it. Let's take that step. So I have my Y. It's in the function, so it's not in my environment. But I had what the function returned, which was B. Remember that it's not in the environment because once you run the function environment goes away, so does the Y, so does the X. And so I can use B to try this. So if I do this, nope, doesn't work. Not a valid argument type. So wait a minute. Is.NA is supposed to be, I'm not saying is.NAB. So is.NA, I'm just giving the function. Now let's try this. Eureka! So I have now the 2, 12, 18, 24, 10, and 14. The NAs are gone. So I need to come back here and put Y. Okay, there are many ways of doing this, as you know, Arturo, but I'm showing you that step by step it works. So just to verify one more time, I'm going to load it into the environment. Here's my A. It has evens, it has odds, it has NAs, missing values, but I'm going to save in B, even nums, A, and what I get are all the even nums that are in here. So you happy? Okay, thank you. Now let's go back and try again. I've already loaded students. It's already here. No need to reload that again because I didn't change anything. Here's where I got problems on line 19. So let me go ahead and run that line. And now I have even scores. And nothing. It's empty. Wait a minute. I know the function worked. I tried the function. You saw it with your own 2 eyes, Arturo. It worked. So if I go back to 19, then it seems to me the error must be here, not in the function, because I tried the function. The function is working. That's why we do functions like this to debug them, make sure they're working, so then we can isolate further errors. So I'm looking at this. Let me try it here in the console. Even nums, and I'm putting in students score. Now that worked, but it didn't work over here. What? All right, so there must be a problem. Oh, here it is. Look at this. Student score, I see in the console, that's a capital. And here it's lowercase. Now let me try it. Okay, I'm going to clear the environment now and start over. So load in the function, load in students, try even scores with student scores. Let's look. Aha! And now I'm wanting to sum all the even scores that are greater than 70. Count how many of the students who passed the test. Okay, I was thinking I wanted a vector, but it says here just count how many students who passed the test who had a score of 70 or greater that was even. So here are all the scores 70 or greater that are even. So really all I have to do is count this up, right? So let's see what I get. 23. Well, let's see. 16, 17, 18, 19, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. What's going on? Let me look at even scores again. There they are. And now I'm asking for a sum of even scores greater than or equal to 70. So let me type that in my window. And I get 23. How big is that vector? It's 26. Why do I keep getting 23? Oh, wait a minute. I'm doing exactly what I want. I have some scores that are not at least 70. I have some even scores where students did not pass. Here's a 58. Here's a 64. Here's a 62. There's the missing 3. So this is a case of I was trying to debug something that was working. Thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. So we've now done it, right? We have summed and we got 23, the number of even scores that are for students who passed, meaning they got a grade of at least 70. All right, I'm all done, but I'm not satisfied. I'm going to show you one more time, Arturo, clearing everything. Here we go. Let's click on the entire script and run it, and we get 23. Thank you so much for your help. As always, you've been a great help. I've got that script all solved, and I can go ahead and save it now. Thank you.